2020. It's been such a wild ride with you. Where do I even begin? I started you off all nervous and scared because I had my board exams in a month and I wasn't quite prepared. Your first day, my best friend and I spent making plans about everything we wanted to do and all the places we wanted to go once our exams ended. Well, now we know that didn't quite happen. 6 papers down and the last 4 were cancelled, postponed. Nobody had a clue. What followed was a lot of uncertainty and anxiety and guilt for being so privileged at such times. My sister came back from Delhi in the spring, and spending time with her all these months has honestly been the best thing about this year for me. She's going back in a few days, and so are you, 2020. I also started my YouTube channel around this time, and that kept me engaged those days, mostly when I was not busy overthinking what the freaking hell was going on around the world. Other than that, I would also watch an insane number of sappy, old-school teenage rom-com movies just to find an escape from reality and to cope with the trauma of quarantine. In May, I took admission in class 11th. I chose humanities and I was excited because online classes were going to start shortly and I was finally going to be able to study the subjects that I actually liked. Also, I felt like maybe a sense of school would give a purpose to my empty life at the moment. I turned 17 this summer and experienced an overwhelming fear of my childhood slipping away. My board results finally came out in July, ending the possibility of exams being conducted. I scored fairly well, or at least I think I did. 10 days later, my brother came back from Bangalore and the family of 5 was finally reunited. He bought me my new phone and I'm always thankful for that. I could shoot better quality videos now. In September, I went to my friend's birthday party and got to meet her and some of the other nicest people in my life whom I never thought I would meet for a really long time. It was very nice and warm and I'm really glad that I went. I also decided to leave social media at that time because of how toxic it was getting and the toll it was taking on my mental health. I regretted it a little bit then, mostly because it made my already negligible social life almost non-existent. But looking back at it now, it honestly feels like one of the best things that I've done for myself. On October 1st, we celebrated my sister's birthday because she was home for it after almost 4 years. We had a mini get-together with our cousins and it was wholesome. Also, I got to eat 3 delicious cakes. That was the best part. My brother had to go back the next day because of work. At the very end of the month, I finally got my braces on and most of November was spent in visits to the dentist and the orthodontist to get the procedure started. The rest of the month I spent doing my projects, which I still have not completed by the way. Winter is my favorite time of the year because it always manages to bring a lot of positivity in my life somehow, and this year was no exception. December welcomed me with a lot of warmth and comfort and I was all in for it. My sister came up with this idea that we should learn how to knit, and we did. But our mom ended up actually finishing the piece that we had started. A fun pocket. I also met my 3 best friends after months and it felt like we were together after ages. But at the same time, it also felt like a continuation. As if just yesterday we were studying together for exams or walking back home together from tuitions. Nothing changed with them and I hope it never does. Dear 2020, you've meant so many different things to so many different people. For me, you were bittersweet. I grew, I learned, I unlearned. I lost some people and didn't really get to meet any new ones. I slowed down, I paused, I looked at the world around me. I thought deeply about a lot of different things and I realized how much I took life for granted. I don't want to romanticize you 2020 because you've literally brought an apocalyptic nightmare come to life that has wrecked lives and caused irretrievable damage to people and society. But I do want to thank you. Thank you for making me realize my privilege. Thank you for teaching me how valuable life is and how precious people are and how important family is. Thank you for reminding me that the world is full of misery and distress and suffering, but even in the darkest of times, there is still a tinge of hope lingering around. Hope that keeps us going no matter what. Thank you and goodbye.